Greetings, geeks, and welcome to another installment of our Long Box Roulette. That's right, this is the opportunity that Michael and I have to reach blindly into our many long boxes, pull out some vintage comics, share a few stories about them, and maybe make the other go, ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
So, Michael, why don't you kick us off this time?
All right. Let's see. Oh, this might make me go interesting. Now, I don't know if you even know this one. This is older. This is pre-Wizard, but
Oh, yes, indeed. Okay. So this is pretty awesome. I used to grab. I don't read that many X-Men comics. I didn't read X-Men comics heavily in the 90s, but I would go back when I could and find the classics because I heard so much about how great, the Chris Claremont run was. So I definitely had a few of those. I remember one with like Kitty Pryde and Colossus. They were like pirates. It was like this fantasy story, and they would do new covers, on those. So X-Men Classic was great.
yeah, this is pretty cool. This was an interesting story where along came Alpha Flight, is what it says, and it had a really good team. It was Colossus and Cyclops and Storm and Wolverine and Nightcrawler. It's a fun little adventure. It says on the date of it 1988. I guess I bought it in 88. Maybe I bought it after the fact in some sort of quarter bin, but it's cool. I forgot I even had one of these. This is cool.
That's what it's all about, right? Never know what you're gonna find. All right, let me see what we got here. Oh, doing a little Hulk Hogan. All right, let's reach in here and see what we get. Okay. Oh, we love these tales. Okay, so what we have here, I'm gonna take it out of the bag and board here though, but we have a What If comic. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Will this story come to Disney Plus soon? Who knows? They're dealing mostly with their cinematic universe, but this is one of the greats. Spider-Man 3, they're packing it with all these special guest stars. Pack it with some comics continuity, some extra arms for Tom Holland.
Wow.
But this is a really neat story, because in the comics, there was this period where he was trying to not be Spider-Man, takes the serum, right? And instead of getting rid of the powers, it enhances his spider tendencies, his characteristics.
So how is that a what if then? If he had the 8 arms or the extra arms in continuity.
Yeah. And so what I find interesting about this story, though, is it kind of becomes this whole thing where he is talking to like Ben Grimm, and stuff about being a freak and he's not comfortable and all that. And by the end, the point of the story was that, you should embrace anything that's different about you, that's unique about you, to the point where he actually becomes a spokesperson for people with disabilities. And so that's kind of like his heroic turn at the end. Outside of crime fighting, he's also going to inspire kids and people who might feel different. So I always liked the way that wrapped up. It's a really nice
forward thinking as well. It's very it's funny you have a Spider-Man sign behind you and you pull the. Are we in your Spider-Man box? Is that why that happened?
That was just my Marvel box. So that we caught it at the right time. We're in the Spider-Man fever these days.
Oh man, it's everywhere. And any superhero website or news feed on social media that has anything to do with movies, you keep hearing more and more about this Spider-Verse, 50 million villains gonna pop up, all the different Spider-Men are reappearing. It's like all over the place. So yeah, that's interesting. That's a good pull though. That's pretty cool. I never saw that book before.
Oh.
All right, let's see. I don't know what I got here. This is another good one. I like this book. This is a story that I actually have a couple of copies of this thing.
Oh. Oh, okay, yeah.
So the first time I got it, I hadn't read Nightfall before the Azrael new bat suit happened. I just didn't. It was just so many books. So after I read that one, I went to the comic book store, and I think I even went to like a Kmart, and they had like a bag full of a whole bunch of them. And I bought this in the comic book store to read it. Then I bought this pack in Kmart, which had like 25 issues of stuff in it, and it was in there too. this is one of my favorite Nightfall tie-in stories or whatever. It's a really cool, back and forth battle with Two-Face and Batman. It's not super like violent-y. It's more like a psychological chase type of a story. It's pretty cool. It's fun.
Yeah, that's interesting. And hey, if anybody's missing that book, Michael's got you covered. Organize a trade.
I don't know what quality they are, but you could have it.
Just a reader copy. That's what you need.
Exactly.
All right.
That's funny you say that because I was recently reading Batman 3 Jokers, and I bought 2 covers of each issue that came out. And I have, the Joker covers, and I bought the Batman, the Batgirl, and the Red Hood one. And I was sitting down with my wife and my sister-in-law, and my sister was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." She's like, "Can I open it?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's my reader copy." And my wife goes, "What's a reader copy?" I'm like, "This is the one you read, and then the other one you put away." She's like, "How much do these cost?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Here's a Starbucks gift card. Go."
Love you. Bye. Gotta go.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Other side here. Other side. Let's see. What are we gonna find? Wouldn't you know it? I did not plan this. I know I've planted them in the past, but I did not plan this. This is interesting, though. We have the other Elseworlds tale about Batman, Darkest Night.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. So what if Batman became Green Lantern, instead of Superman becoming Batman? So it's not quite as good as Speeding Bullets, which we recently covered on Robin's Reading Rainbow, but it's still a pretty good idea.
So you know what's funny about that? So there's an Elseworlds tale about him coming Green Lantern, but in the comics, the Sinestro ring tries to get to Batman because of the ability to instill fear to people. So Batman has actually, in some certain points in time, been both Green Lantern and a Yellow Lantern at the same time. And at one point in comics, he wields both rings. Yeah, it's wild. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that period where every DC hero was some type of lantern.
Yes.
And that was a big deal for a while.
Yeah.
Every color, every hero.
Every single, yeah. All right, let's see. I'll go for my third pull here. Let's see. I don't know. Where am I going? Huh. Interesting. I think we've talked about this one, or at least this time period.
Yeah, tell me about this one. What do you recall about this particular story? Because that's actually not a cover that I'm familiar with. I love that era of the black costume Spider-Man, in the late 80s.
I don't know, man. I don't know what this is even about.
Open it up. I want to know more about this, because who are the 2 people on the cover it's showing?
So it's got Black Cat in her new costume, and it's not a really good looking.
I know, because that's what I was just going to say. That looks like Mockingbird, not Black Cat.
And it says 87 was the print, and then Daredevil is the other one.
Huh. That is, wow. That's a moment in history, if that's what Black Cat looked like briefly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
And I don't know what this is even about.
Like, who's trying to blast Spider-Man with a laser on the cover? Oh, hey.
Silver Sable launches the Spider Hunt, it says.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to get that issue now. Come on, guys. Nobody ever talks about this. Are we breaking news after all these years that Black Cat had this variant costume?
I guess so.
I don't see that pop up on CBR and Newsarama, any of these lists that they're throwing at us. Right here, guys. Wizards, the podcast Guide to Comics. We're bringing it to you.
There's a lot.
Breaking old news.
The Fantastic Four appear in this. Captain America, Thor, Namor, like, a lot of people are appearing in this issue for some reason or another. I don't know what this is. I don't even know if I've ever read this. I think somebody gave it to me and I just threw it in a box. Look at that.
Little afternoon reading to come.
Oh, yeah. Wow. But you know what's funny? You'll find this interesting. So Black Cat is on the cover. She appears on, like, the first 2 pages, and then not again until the very last page, but not in that costume. It's literally
Come on, Felicia. You gotta keep it consistent. We gotta know what you're doing there.
yeah, literally only on these 2 or 3 pages. Yeah, this is it. The first 2 pages of the issue, she appears in this costume, and then never again. Weird. Comics. What are you gonna do?
All right, last one here for me. Let me see what we find. All right. Now here's an oddball one for you, Michael. This is Mysterymen Comics. Okay, you've heard of Mysterymen, right?
Of
Ben
course,
Stiller,
yeah,
Paul
of course.
Rudd, everybody from the '90s. This is the comic that movie was based on,
Huh.
by Bob Burden, who more famous for the Flaming Carrot. You might have heard of
I've
Flaming
heard
Carrot.
of them. Yes, I have.
But he did Mysterymen on the back. There's like an ad for Mysterymen and stuff. But yeah, these are just like, his comics are so bizarre. It doesn't look like he did the art though. Usually he does the art and it's more this style, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look on the inside, much nicer art. Let me see who
Nice
provided
paper
that.
too. Kind of like, is that like a glossy paper?
Yeah,
Or,
Steven Sadowski. Yeah, it's like a semi-gloss paper because it's not totally like the thickness that you get in like an image book, for
yeah.
example. But yeah, this is some very nice art actually. I want to find out what this guy did because it's kind of almost like a Kevin Maguire style art where it's a little more, it's
Yeah.
like cartoony but like very distinct lines.
I like the spacing in the panels too. Like that's kind of nice.
Yeah, this is pretty neat. I'm trying to see what this particular character's name is when he's in his costume, but I don't see it here. So I'm not as familiar with the the Mysterymen universe. I just have a couple issues that I've read over the years because I was on a real big kick with the
The
Flaming
movie.
Carrot, so I wanted to catch them all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I want to see what all the stuff that Bob Burden has done. But yeah. Anyway, no character name here, but somebody in the comments tell us who this guy is. Okay, he's
That's a
got
funny saying you just said. I was in a big flaming carrot kick because that's something people say that like even comment like, yeah, I felt like I wanted to read all the flaming carrot I could possibly get.
It's a condition that some of us come down with. Yeah.
So I want to play a little game with you real quick.
Okay.
So I recently purchased something for our podcast, and I want to try it out here first. This is called Pod Decks, and I bought 2 of them. I bought What the Heck and Would You Rather, and they have like 5 different types of boxes. And I just bought these 2 on Black Friday for fun, and you basically, I'll pull out the question, and then it's supposed to be some sort of generic. I literally haven't even looked at these yet, so I don't know what we're in store for. So I'm gonna go with Would You Rather. So it says Would You Rather. Here we go. Would you rather be in shape and have a great body but ugly face, or have a gorgeous face and be overweight?
All right, I have the answer to this because I was having this conversation with my wife the other night. She brought it up and she was talking about, she's like, you know what? Because I was actually talking about comics. I was telling her how, like, there's a focus, the guys on the pecs, the women in the 90s, the chest, like that was a big thing, and she's like, that's just never been an area I've focused on when I considered somebody attractive. I've been more about the personality, hence marrying you. I was like, thank you, dear. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it worked out that way. But yeah, so I think I'd have to go. I'll take an ugly, or I'll take, the, wait, what was the other option? There's the ugly face with a nice body. I'll skip that. And I'll go with,
or gorgeous face and overweight body.
Yeah, I'll have overweight body. I'll have a gorgeous face. That's fine. I'm already there. Come on, don't you think?
I would take the gorgeous face as well if I could get my hair back. And on that note, thank you guys so much for watching to another installment of our Long Box Roulette. I'm Michael, and that's Adam. Thank you again. You can check us out on our social media at Instagram at Wizards_Comics, on Twitter at Wizards Comics. You can check us out here on YouTube at Wizards Podcast. You can find us on our TeePublic store where you can find these cool shirts and so much more. You can also find us on your favorite podcasting platform. As always, check us out on our podcast. Let us know how you think about our show on our social media. And until next time, keep your books bagged and boarded.